Now, it is with great pleasure that I introduce the man, the myth, the legend, the person with the questionable fashion sense, and a fatherly figure that guided CM2 to its glory. Russell, the stage is all yours.
Always getting my fashion attacked. I don't know. Yeah, we needed that break, so thank you, Joe. That was a great call. Today we come together to celebrate hard work. Trying to judge or summarize the TGS journey is difficult. As music was once described, talking about TGS is like dancing about architecture. Because nothing I can do or say will truly encapsulate the last 2 years for the class of 2022. The excitement they must have felt when accepted to only have that dream snatched away by the pandemic. Last July, when the team did arrive, finally in Dubai, as I said before, we were disorientated and at times we were somewhat disconnected. It took time to find the CM2 magic and identity. That identity that was forged by many of the alumni sat here today. And we celebrate. Personally, as I've told the graduating CM2 class on a few occasions, I was not sure we could do it. A lot had changed since we were last on site. We were in a new unplanned country. We'd had many staffing changes. We were without a senior class who had ever actually been on site. I often ask myself and the team in those first few weeks, can we do it? Can we rebuild again? PBL and the style of learning we endorse here at TGS is risky business because to be successful, you need to go out on a limb. At times, you can look like a genius. At other times, you can look like a complete novice. Failure is baked in, and it's part of the DNA. The robot might not recognize the black line hours before meeting Dubai royalty. The desert house just won't fit together, and that educator just doesn't buy you an A. No matter the project or the challenge, every one of the class of 2022, despite the year online, never gave up. I'm sure there were dark moments that many of the educators didn't see, but all of them decided to stick with the projects. They decided it was worth the commitment. It was worth the struggle. The freedom in the Changemaker curriculum, the freedom it gives us is huge, and it's key. As Joe said before, freedom in all its shapes and forms, whether it be mental, spiritual, physical, is so, so important. So class of 2022, keep that close to you and keep it in your hearts. Stood here today, obviously, all my fears were completely unfounded. The class of 2022 was special. As a devout historian, as they know, they've not had quite too much time of me boring them with history, as I don't teach them all that much anymore, but I will give them some history. Stood here today, there was a great speech I love from JFK, his speech to the American University in 1963. He didn't talk about high towers or grand campuses, which is fitting for TGS as we simply don't have those. JFK talks about true education. It's for those who hate ignorance, and it's for those who strive to know. How the class of 2022 have strived to know was remarkable. Whether online or in person, it didn't matter. The work kept reaching for the stars. Whether it be robots, AI, virtual reality, incredible tech-free service projects, there was even a flying backpack. As I finish today and my own time comes to an end as principal, I want to just share 5 small things with you that have helped me over the years. 1, we're all equal. Whether it's the person serving you your bubble tea or it's the manager who you want to impress for a promotion, just remember we are all equal. The future is yours. Take it, be responsible over it, make it bright. As we know ever so well, change is normal. Pivot and adapt. As I said, freedom is important. Cherish it. And finally, as I spoke to quite a few of you about over the last few months, travel is magical. I know we do a lot of it, but keep the magic. Evolve yourself. Meet people different from yourself. It's going to be important as any book you read. As the saying goes, be careful when you meet your heroes. Well, I did, and I can do one better. I was their principal. Take care, class of 2022. Sofia, over to you.
I knew it was going to be hard to come after him, but... Okay. So I like to think of our time at TGS as a big, complex puzzle. Each of us, when we start, is given hundreds of pieces of a signature color in multiple forms. There are no rules on size, nor representation on what the final product must look like. They're just milestones that our construction process must include. We're offered thousands of resources, hundreds of opportunities, and tens of experts to learn from. But making the most out of them is a personal decision each member of the community makes. The TGS puzzle is too complex to be dealt with alone and requires guidance. The pieces one is given don't work solely with each other, but rather they complement other people's puzzles. Creating the final piece we want is a constant learning process, full of trials and errors that slowly teaches us how to think. And in the end, when the TGS puzzle is done, we leave the room with our final creation to start building the following chunk of our lives, and leave behind only the legacy of our time at the school. Tonight's CM2 graduating class's puzzle is particularly unique. It includes a significant amount of Zoom meetings, a little too many terms in Dubai, a plot twist term in Mexico, and an epic ending in Greece. It's a perfect harmony between Ahmed's kindness, Alex's thoughtfulness, Ella's leadership, Khan's humbleness, Lucas's integrity, Nada's enthusiasm, Noemi's reliability, Seb's sense of innovation, and Zoya's generosity. We shared 4 terms online, and when we finally made it on site, we shared a collective hope, soaking the most out of every second in country. So we engaged with an adventurous mindset in multiple occasions. When we went camping in the middle of the summer in Dubai, during the night safari, where we were walking with flip-flops next to scorpions, and during our We Explore in Mexico, where some were underwater, while others were trying to make it to camp before dark, which wasn't really successful. Or when we convinced Ross to let us go to the amusement park in Athens a few weeks ago. As we stand, or rather sit here tonight, we're fulfilled with the peace of mind that we did all we could. There are no collective regrets. There are mistakes we wouldn't make again because we already learned from them. But there's nothing we look back and wish we would have taken the initiative to do. We're full of life, satisfaction, and happiness. But we also have many questions and worries as we step out of something as significant as the TGS experience. Will we ever find such a community, a supportive community? Will we continue to be as excited about our learning? Will all of us ever be in one place again? What becomes home when we depart? Those are rhetorical questions that only the future us know the answer to. But if there's one thing that we've learned at TGS, throughout our year online especially, is to live without necessarily knowing all the answers. And although that might be haunting, we've also come to understand that asking the right questions is more important than knowing the answers. And sometimes it's up to us, through planning, investigation, creating, refining, and evaluating, to come up with those imperfect answers in an attempt to justify something. So I wonder then, if the right questions are not, how can I create a sense of belonging and contribute to the support system in the next community I choose to call home? How can I become a leader and apply the leadership skills I observed while at TGS? And how can I organize a reunion where we all come together again? Again, we don't need perfect answers. But it might bring us loads of satisfaction to know that we shall create the change we seek. We have acquired all the necessary skills for that. So, as we step out of high school today, don't just believe that the best is yet to come, but also understand that the best is yet to be created, and make sure you create that. Staff, we hope you know we've acquired those necessary skills only thanks to your guidance and never-ending support. You all came to remind us of something extra special and left a permanent mark on each of us. Upperclassmen, thank you for the example you set and the mentorship you provided us with. It made us better people, and your legacy is so much stronger than you'll ever understand. Underclassmen, your growth has been our biggest teacher. It never failed to amaze us. Regardless of how far we are, we'll always be one call away. You're so ready to be seniors and to lead by example. Enjoy every second and be the mentor you needed. And as best said by the class of 2020, keep CM2 great. Graduates, congratulations guys, we did it. Building this puzzle together has been one of the most gratifying experiences, and there truly is no one else I would have rather doing this with. Remember that the family we created will be around forever, regardless of the distance. I can't wait to see what colors you choose and what lessons you teach in the next puzzle of your life. Good luck, everyone. Not that any of you needs it. So with that said, I have the privilege to start introducing the builders of that puzzle. Perhaps one of the hardest tasks at TGS is to define the concept of home. The person I have the distinguished honor to introduce today holds my definition of home. We had calls that lasted more than 5 hours before we met in person at the airport in Mexico City. And then we literally lived together for 5 months in different houses, countries, and places. But things didn't feel foreign because she was around. I don't think since we met, we've spent more than 48 hours without talking to each other, which led us to know each other a little bit too well. We can guess what food the other one's gonna order or what she's gonna say. I can tell you exactly at that point she's gonna start crying during this speech. But regardless of how much I know her, Noemi never fails to amaze me. Every single day, she walks into the world curious to learn more and eager to grow, but always faithful to her values and beliefs. She'll do anything for the people she cares about, constantly making them better people. She works harder than any of us and with the most integrity and the best sense of humor. Noemi is one of those people you just want to be around, and CM2 will miss her advice and mentorship a lot. She'll be dearly missed as a role model. Congrats, homegirl. You made those 2 years what they have been. Please give a round of applause to my best friend and our latest change makers, Noemi.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I was slightly terrified of this person coming to TGS. She was, and still is, one of the smartest and most academically diligent people I've ever met. She's the only person I know who could change her research paper to Islamic banking and finance 3 weeks before the AP deadline after reading one article on the issue, and will definitely still get a 5. Her ability to chew out the biggest person in the room with no fear, whilst only standing at 5 feet tall, still amazes me. I got the privilege of rooming with this person last term, and I had an amazing time. It not only proved my suspicions that this person is a vampire, as I think I saw her sleep a total of 5 hours the entire term, but also how kind-hearted, funny, and overall amazing she is. I remember being sick, and she never failed to check on how I was doing or bring me my favorite tea. I sat with her and Khan as they methodically printed, cut, glued, and hand-wrote Happy New Year cards and red envelopes with cool facts and pictures from back home in Vietnam for everyone in the cohort, including the educators, on the Lunar New Year, just so they could celebrate their culture with us all, so that everyone could enjoy it as much as they do. She never fails to help me whenever I'm stuck with anything, and always helps those around her who ask, even if she tells them to go away a couple times before she actually does. I've seen her grow so much throughout her journey at TGS, and I hope she notices how far she has come and is proud of her journey, because we all have, and definitely noticed, and we are all so proud of her. I'm so privileged to have been able to share my time here with her, and more than that, call her one of my best friends. Although I'm so sad that I will not be able to see you as often after we graduate, I can't wait for you to start the rest of your life, and I cannot wait to come visit you in 20 years when you are the ruler of Vietnam, as well as probably the rest of the world, and you can take me on rides in your private jet. I hope you never stop doing what you love, and remember how much you impact the lives of the people around you. So without further ado, I would like to introduce the person we all know as our MUN queen, Andy's bully, the cohort's money launderer. Rachel, don't read too much into that. Alexandra Nguyen.
Yes, I'm 5 feet. Thank you, Noemi, for reminding me, everyone, about that. A little bit of context this morning. Andy, my advisor, and I, we had a bet that I could be kind to people, including no sarcasms, no Karen mode for people for the whole day. So I have to change my whole speech that I wrote for Karen. 3 weeks of dedication is gone, and yeah. Anyway, so this person, I would like to describe her as a Swiss Army knife because she never failed to amaze us in all contexts, all situation. This person, she is an artist. She sings, I think, better than Celine Dion. She plays ukulele, piano, guitar, and probably next month she's going to pick up either violin or cello. She is also a prodigy who learned coding, Unity, and she created the whole virtual reality experience in 4 weeks. I don't know how you did that, but hats off. She never fails to amaze the community in any showcase or in any projects with her hardworking spirit and exceptional work. Also, she orders KFC and sushi on a daily basis. Kain, when I first met you, you were a shy girl who was nervous about your new journey, and to be honest, I do not know how to help you prepare. But now that we are at the end of the journey, I see a young, brave, brilliant person who is ready to go out and show the world who she is and change the world the way she likes. We have laughed, cried together. I will forever remember the night we spent pulling an all-nighter to finish a project, cramping up the work. All the excessive amount of KFC and bubble tea that we have ordered, apologize, Dan. We have laughed, cried, and just know that I am grateful to have you as my friend at TGS, and I cannot imagine my 2 years at TGS without you, and I believe the whole cohort is blessed to have you as a part of our team. And without further ado, let's welcome Bùi Văn Khánh.
As you can see, I'm not as tall as Alex. Yeah. Anyway, thanks, Alex, for such kind words. I'm so moved, and I'm so happy that we spent a huge chunk of our teacher's journey together. And about the next person I'm introducing, I have 3 things to say about him. First, he's a living example of passion, dedication, and growth mindset. He built an entire driverless car AI for his mastery project. Second, he's a great friend who doesn't hesitate to help out others in need. Personally, he has been a supportive and patient mentor in VR, despite me pestering him with an endless list of questions. And last but not least, he's always hungry, especially when we visited that cafeteria in Columbia University on our trip. And he taught me a very important lesson: no food shall be left behind. Let me introduce to you, Seb.
Might need to move this up a little bit. Thank you, Ken, for that amazing introduction. Today I've got the pleasure of introducing one of the smartest people I know. I remember seeing him upside down on my laptop for the best part of the online year and wondering what was going on with his Zoom camera. From the Unity course we took before starting TGS together to rooming with him throughout this entire term, he's always been pushing me to improve myself. His style is always immaculate and his jokes are hilarious, and I'm so glad to call him one of my best friends at TGS. Please welcome to the stage the man, the myth, the legend, Ahmed.
First, I would like to thank Seth for those amazing words. I'm quite surprised I'm here today, first of all. I'd like to start saying, they say it's all about the journey, not the destination. However, today I would like to say it's about neither. It's all about the company. The person I'm about to introduce is a special individual without whom this journey would have never been the same. She's a great friend who'd always be there for you, a supportive colleague, a hardworking student, and a kind person. She's also a very, very, very energetic gym pro who can bench press 40 kg. At least she wish. She's a very influential person, not only in our cohort, but she's actual influencer. Like, just one photo with her, your DM will be full tonight. I personally love her sense of humor, her unique sense of humor. She don't like being called short, so please all let's welcome my above average height friend, Zoya Abbas.
I can't believe you did that. Thank you for that, Emma. I will bench press 40 kgs by the end of this year. I'm not the best scientific researcher, and I'm sure Dan can verify that. And scientific theories have always been tricky for me. But the one that I'm really confident about is my theory of Lucas. The theory of Lucas states that there can only exist one Lucas at any point of time in the universe, mainly because more than one of them would be too much for any of us to handle. But also because another human being, even being moderately close to Lucas, is just far more impossible. Lucas is someone that doesn't exist in the same world as us. His world is far more different than mine and far more beautiful than mine ever could be. And every time that I hug him, I get a glimpse of his world that I never want to let go. Lucas, you have transformed me in so many different ways. You've taught me that passion shouldn't be constrained by time, even if that means being late all the time. You've taught me that life doesn't need to make sense even amidst chaos and a million projects that you're completing the night before. And you've taught me that I don't need to spend a lifetime with someone to feel like I've known them for an eternity. I love you so much. So please give a round of applause for Lucas.
Looking at everyone here today brings me so many memories that I don't feel ready to let go yet. Some of you, though, also bring me memories of when I truly crave the future. And such was the case when I got my first private message from a TGS student. A hi with 2 eyes, which gave me literal goosebumps. And since then, we have talked. We texted, we called, and ate chocolate together on Wednesday afternoons at the world's largest mall. Getting to know your true self has been a very interesting discovery, not gonna lie. When I once told you that if I looked up happiness on Google Images, I'd be able to see your face, that's because of your blessed smile, which so many times rescued me in this Hailey journey. Beyond happiness, though, when I look at it today, I am able to see resilience, faith, courage, and even anger at times. Whether on the ice rink, writing college essays with me, or taking leadership of committees, I have seen all the shine through a heart that is one of the purest I've ever known. Today, I am deeply excited to see how it's going to shape your future after you get this diploma. But rest assured, you have more than enough reasons to be as excited about it as I was when I got this first hi from you. Please come here, Nada Benani.
I know it. Oh my god, I actually need a break. Thank you so much, Lucas. I really deeply appreciate it. Okay, now I want to talk about one of the seniors I admire the most at TGS. They're, of course, extremely talented and smart, and always so on top of their work. I really admire the discipline, organization, and hard work shown through all the checked to-do list that Shangman had made. Their passion for identity and gender brings me thrills and chills every time I hear them talk about it. Apart from being a climate change activist in Alaska, because yes, they're from Alaska, they are in love with Harry Styles songs and used to be obsessed with Harry Potter, which is completely reliable. Every morning when I see them, I am astonished by how colorful they are. Everything is matching, the top and also the earrings and the eyeliner, and it's just like, mwah, literally. And did you know that each earring that they have has a meaning behind it, and I just find it extremely incredible. Anyway, they're really outdoorsy. They love hiking and rowing, and I'm sure they can fight bears pretty easily. I'm so glad to present you and welcome the amazing, the unique, the one and only Ella!
So I don't really know how to write speeches, so I wrote a letter instead. My sunshine. Writing this letter, I am sat at the edge of a cliff, looking out at the sea, and while I'm supposed to be writing a piece of travel literature, sorry, Andy, when looking back at my TGS experience, the central image and story is not a place or a moment or an experience. It's you. From Mexico to Dubai and back to Mexico again, and finally here in Greece. You have been the sun keeping me going, the lighthouse in the incredible storm that has been our TGS experience. You have been my inspiration, my joy, my rock, and the hope of who I may one day have the wisdom, grace, and empathy to become. We are all about to set out on a great step into the unknown, to leave the path made for us and forge our own.
And I know that if I have found myself so lucky to be your friend, I'm doing something right. And it tells me that if all of us are lucky enough to be your friend, we're all doing something right. And we have absolutely nothing to worry about. My only hope for the future is to become even half of the person that you are. And to you, I hope you know that there is no one I admire more in the world or have faith and trust more that they will do the most incredible things. However much uncertainty we face, I hope you always remember that. You're ready to fly. Sophie.